I'm Spotlight on America correspondent Angie Moreschi. Half of U.S. states have now legalized the recreational use of marijuana. When you add in medical use, that number jumps to 75%. With so many people smoking marijuana, that has traffic experts concerned about the impact on road safety.
Where were you coming from, sir?
After being pulled over for suspected drunk driving,
9 steps forward, series of small steps, 9 back.
field sobriety tests like this
1, 2.
often show suspects having difficulty
8, 9. Oh, careful.
walking a straight line. By comparison,
8, 9.
detecting marijuana impairment, as suspected in this case, is more subtle. But law enforcement says not to be ignored.
Marijuana impairs you, I won't say just like alcohol, but it impairs you as much as alcohol.
Tim Cornelius is state coordinator for the Florida Drug Evaluation and Classification Program, part of the Institute for Police Technology and Management, which trains law enforcement across the country.
Are you okay to continue?
Yes.
Cornelius says drivers suspected of marijuana impairment
You're going to be under arrest for driving under the influence.
often falsely believe cannabis doesn't impact driving.
I smoke it, but I'm okay to drive. That's a perception that we hear all the time. You get behind the wheel of a car and you could have the exact same disastrous effects that you would have from alcohol.
An analysis of studies by the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety found, on average, a nearly 6% increase in injury crashes and a 4% increase in fatal crashes in states after legalizing recreational marijuana. Does marijuana use cause impairment when you're driving?
Absolutely it does.
Enter drug recognition experts, or DREs, like Pinellas County, Florida Sheriff's Lieutenant Mark Easty, trained to detect signs of marijuana impairment on the roads. What exactly are you looking for?
With marijuana, believe it or not, it's going to be speeding, weaving within their lane.
Studies show marijuana impairs driving by slowing reaction time, affecting ability to pay attention, and impacting memory. And for drivers who combine both alcohol and marijuana, as is suspected in this wrong-way crash in St. Petersburg, Florida this January, studies show impairment is even worse.
And blow.
But it's harder to prove marijuana impairment versus alcohol, where you can use a legally accepted breathalyzer test.
This is just a sterile urine cup.
A urine sample helps, but doesn't prove recent cannabis use, and getting blood often requires a warrant.
These are general indicators.
So DREs are trained to use a 12-step process to evaluate for signs of marijuana impairment.
We take their blood pressure, their pulse rate, we check their eyes.
Physiological responses like lower blood pressure and eye tremors are indicators of cannabis use that cannot be controlled, so documenting them is key to making a case that holds up in court. Boy, this is really tricky, isn't it?
It is.
What is your biggest concern right now about cannabis use?
If you're going to use it, just do not drive.
When it comes to marijuana, DUI experts say more data is needed to help develop a universal accepted way to measure cannabis impairment, like the breathalyzer with alcohol. And while testing is ongoing, nothing is close to being on the market. For Spotlight on America, I'm Angie Moreschi.